What is going on, you guys? Lou back at it again with another video. So for today's video, we're not going to be really talking about the playoffs. We're going to be talking about NBA news. And honestly, I don't have that many topics here. So we're going to try to get through these very quickly so I can post this as fast as I can for the fans, right? So the first topic that we have is that the Phoenix Suns will offer Clint Capella a max deal during free agency. Now, I'm not surprised by this at all. You know, Clint Capella did a lot of great things for the Houston Rockets this season. And he's actually proved himself as a player at this point. And a lot of teams are looking at that. And some teams honestly might think because he's on the Houston Rockets, he's being held back to a certain degree that maybe if he's on a different team, he can do some things. Now, is Phoenix a good spot for him? Honestly, for where he's at right now in his career, I mean, essentially you should stay with Houston, all right? There's a championship run there. If you want a bigger role as a player possibly, then yeah, you go over there and you make that move. I doubt that they will get him, man. I mean, we'll see how it happens, but I think Clint Capella is going to stay with the Houston Rockets at this point. It's a better team to be on. It's well coached currently, and there's not a lot of problems right now with the organization itself. Currently, I think the Suns are in a situation where their management is just not that great, all right? They got some players that they could really work with, but I just don't think that they have the management to be able to deal with these high-profile type of things. I don't think they're going to be able to convince Clint Capella that this is a team for him in the future. But I also don't think that this is going to be the only team that offers him a contract as well, because like I said, he's definitely proven himself this whole season. It's probably not the last rumor that you're going to hear of something like this. As you guys know, the 76ers had a monumental season, all right? They hit 52 wins, and they even got a playoff series dub, all right? And honestly, their team is looking great. There's a lot of pieces that you could be looking forward to seeing. And one of those pieces that I was very hesitant about when it first happened was JJ Redick. He signed a $20 million deal. Now, even now, I still don't think he was worth that money, but it propelled their team to another level, I think, shooting-wise, and it really showed in the playoffs, all right? Even though they had guys like Marco and also Ersan Ilyasova, who provided a lot of great things for their team, I think JJ Redick was one of those guys that really helped them in the playoffs, and honestly, he's not worth $20 million, and both of these guys, Marco and JJ, have already came out and said they want to come back, okay? So that's good. That's a good thing, right? Because you get at least these shooters still back on your team. But honestly, I don't think they're going to give JJ Redick another 20 mil. There's just no way, all right? I just doubt it. I don't think it's going to happen. So if that's what he thinks he's going to get, then he might be tripping. But we'll see. So as you guys know, when it comes to Klay Thompson, it's made very public that he still wants to be on the Golden State Warriors. He wants to stay with this team, and he doesn't have any intentions of trying to leave. Rumors are coming out currently that Klay Thompson is about to sign an extension for 4 years, $92 million, meaning he is going to be taking a $50 million pay cut. Now, if that doesn't show that he wants to be on this team, then I don't know what will. If he would have decided to leave Golden State and join another team, he would have been eligible to receive $139 million for 4 years. Now, am I mad that he took a pay cut? No, because at this point in his career, he has millions and millions and millions of dollars. Money doesn't currently matter to him. His legacy does. Getting those rings matter, the wins. That's what he's thinking about currently right now. And he's at a very young spot. He's one of the greatest shooters of all time, right? And he's signing for 4 years. I think in another 4 years, he's still going to be an excellent player. So at that point, if he decides to leave, he'll definitely leave. And he'll go to another team and do things over there if he needs to. So I'm not really mad at this move. I honestly like it because anytime I see a player take a pay cut, it means they're down for the cause. And I can always appreciate that. Now, if you guys do not know, if you guys are living under a rock, Dwayne Casey was fired. Now, I didn't talk about this topic because I thought I was going to put it in my coaching video. I got a coaching video coming up when I don't have too many topics to talk about. I'm going to just do a whole coaching thing. I've decided I'm going to do it like that. I've been talking about this video for a while, and the coaching stuff is stacking up, all right? So I got a lot of storylines to talk about there. But Messiah, the GM of the Toronto Raptors, he came out and spoke, and this is what he had to say about Dwayne Casey. He said, "Great man, great coach. It's a difficult decision to come to, but we saw something we've taken lightly, and we move on to our next phase with Toronto Raptors." Now, honestly, this is the reason why Dwayne Casey got fired. Too many seasons where the playoff was upsetting, all right? The playoff situations just never worked out. And honestly, in an NBA team, that's what matters the most. Regardless of the fact they did great. They had a great regular season, and their system worked. Now, is there any blame to put on Dwayne Casey for what happened? No, there is none. But at the same time, you have to find a scapegoat to blame for this. And you're not going to kick out any of your players. You're not going to trade every player you got just because they failed. Because they failed, you're going to take the blame on the next guy that you can, and that's Dwayne Casey. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if the Toronto Raptors next season, if they have a bad season, or if they have a situation where they fail in the playoffs, again in a situation like they did right now, then I wouldn't even be surprised if the GM gets fired next. Because at that point, you got to keep blaming somebody. Something's going on. You guys lost back-to-backs with a sweep to LeBron James. Now, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous because a lot of people thought that Toronto Raptors had a chance to go to the finals. So to see him go out so sad like that, it's literally a disappointment to the season, all right? And honestly, I saw this coming. I really did. Did he deserve to be fired? No. But do you have to fire someone at that point? Yeah. Honestly, you got swept. I think a fresh face is going to be good for this organization maybe. And if they hire somebody cool, then they'll be able to make some shake. But I think at the end of the day with the Toronto Raptors, it's not the coaching no more. The coaching has nothing to do with this. It's literally the amount of players that you have, the guys that you have on this team. It's not going to do you anything going to the finals, all right? You got teams like the Celtics who are already getting better than the Toronto Raptors. And honestly, the Toronto Raptors, they got to get more guys over there. That's really it. That lineup was not meant to beat LeBron James, sadly. Everyone knew it. LeBron James was playing like a monster. If Kevin Love is playing like that, they didn't have a chance, all right? And it's because of the players that they have. Now, I don't want to diss Toronto like that, but, you know, they had a good season, definitely. But once it came to it, they just weren't the team that we thought they were. Now, this is the news I really wanted to talk about, all right? Now, according to the Timberwolves insider, Coach Tom Thibodeau and the Wolves general manager, Scott Leonard, got into a screaming match that led to Tibbs throwing a computer monitor through a glass wall. Now, this is not a good look for the organization itself, honestly. I'm not sure what led to this conversation going to this type of manner, but it must have not been great, all right? Obviously, it wasn't a great conversation, and this is not good for Tibbs, all right? He's had problems now with every single team that he's been coaching now, and it's an issue. Now, you could say something about passion, but at that point, throwing a computer monitor through a glass wall, that's ridiculous. It's unprofessional. He should be held accountable for that. But at the same time, I really need to know more about this situation and digest into what's going on into leading into this. In any which way of why this happened, Tibbs should have never threw that computer monitor. First things first, right? Second, I need to know, like I said, what is going on in this situation, all right? Is the general manager telling Tibbs how to completely run his team, and that's why the success is not coming and Tibbs is getting upset? Then yeah. But if the general manager is telling Tibbs like, yo, this is what you should do as a coach, this is what you need to be doing. That's why I brought this piece here. This is why we're bringing these pieces here. You got to give these people more playing time. Then I understand. Because Tibbs has been known to be one of those coaches who runs his starting lineup way too long. His starting lineup gets all the minutes, regardless of how the bench is looking. And I think that's something that maybe, I mean, I'm not even going to say that for sure, but maybe the general manager is kind of talking to him about. Because at the same time, I'm going to tell you the truth. The Timberwolves had a disappointing season, in my opinion. Regardless of the fact that they made the playoffs, they had a disappointing season. For the fact being that they had Jimmy Butler, Cat, and Andrew Wiggins. That's just 3 players right there. They got more guys on this team. But those 3 guys, and you made it 8? Nah, man. I think you got to make it higher. Even the Spurs were better than you. And they didn't even have Kawhi Leonard, all right? So I think they have to talk to Tibbs maybe in a professional way. And Tibbs has to be way more professional than throwing a computer monitor. But if that's the way that they're coming at him, telling him things like that, he just has to live with it. Because Tibbs, I'm sorry, he needs to play his bench more. He needs to get some rotation right and get some guys going in there. Now, I think in the playoffs, he started to adjust and he started doing way better. But I think in general, he needs to get that rotation correct. You got people like Jamal Crawford who could do way more than you're actually letting him be able to do. And honestly, all he's going to be doing is pushing guys away. That's all he's going to be doing. So, once again, I don't know all the facts, but, you know, that's really what I got to say. So, tell me what you guys think down below in the comments. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more. I'm out.